Okay, so the question is, what message does the universe have for us today? Um, I looked in the news, and there's a lot of information right now about pastors coming out and saying that they've been contacted by the government and they need to inform their congregations that there are aliens among us. And then you've got lots of other news trending right now about like hantavirus or something being released into the environment, and our medical, our pharma companies having, the next vaccine waiting for that particular thing. So, I mean, there's just a lot of things right now out there, and I could have read on any of them, but in my mind, I just think, okay, yeah, this is all converging into, you know, some fear porn and, awakening type stuff. And a lot of the people watching this show already know that and are not too sucked in by it. But I think what I thought I'd do is just read what message does the universe have for us today. With everything that's going on, it might be nice to have some kind of message. So here are the cards that I got. So I've got, as I read to you, this is the little guide deck right here. It's by Angel Skog, who has her own channel on YouTube. I like to watch her reads, and she does a similar reading style, so I'm kind of copying her reading style. So it's the Nordic, oh, it's not coming to me, I'm so sorry, Angel. Nordic something. She has a lot of followers. Another deck I'm using is the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. So if you're into crystals, you might like this deck. And the last one I'm using is the Herbal Astrology Oracle, which I like because I like to learn about herbs and their uses. So for me, this is a fun way to learn. And then for tarot, I'm using again the Light Seers deck, which I mentioned before. So let's go ahead and get started. I did a pre-shuffle, and now I'm going to shuffle for what does the universe have as a message for us today. We're going to find out what. Okay. And now we'll look at the crystals. What does the universe have? What message does the universe want us to know today? What message? That one's popping out. This one. What message? Okay, this one's making a self-note. Okay. All right. So I'm going to look at the oracle first, and then I will look at the tarot after that. So first card, money. And I just did a reading on Wednesday, and it was about the financial system and all that. So interesting that comes up. Next, discipline. Okay. Saturn, I didn't see all the words on it, so this is a very faint card, and with my lighting in here not being so great, I'm not sure you can see it, but it says discipline, Saturn, Azurite, and the number 30. And Palo Santo, number 55, Guardian. Yeah, I've had this card before. It also has at the top, there's some small symbols. It has the South Node and Pluto. And Pluto, this is about a big transformation from who we were to who we're becoming. South Node is a symbol in astrology for the gifts that we're born with and who we were in past lives. And Pluto is major transformation. And in this lifetime, we go from we tend to trend away from our gifts that we were born with and start learning new things in the opposite direction towards the North Node, which is new gifts that we are developing. So as a whole, as a society, this is just symbolic of there is big transformation going on. Palo Santo is a protective herb. I know that. I'm going to get the book out and look at it here in a minute, but it's a very protective herb from what I can recall. And here we have discipline. So I think just looking at the three cards together, I don't know if you can see them. I tried to add some light so that we can see things better, but it's a little reflective on my desk here. I think regarding money, we're going to have to be disciplined. Saturn can be restriction and fear. It's discipline. We have to be disciplined in this area of our lives. So we're going to have to be disciplined with our money, but because we're going through this change, and this is the same message I got Wednesday. If you watch my Wednesday reading, there's going to be a bump in the road, and we're going to have a change in our financial system, and this echoing the same message. Let me read Palo Santo because that's really, I think I recall being a very nice card for, it says guardian here. So there's protection. And this makes me think of, I don't know if you've all heard, but I've heard that there is kind of a system being developed in the background that will kind of be our safety net when the current system that we are familiar with has trouble. Okay, so let me see. Palo Santo, number 55. It's the very last one in the book, all the way at the end. Last but not least, most important. Okay, Palo Santo, guardian. The ritualistic burning of Palo Santo, which translates to sacred or holy wood, can be traced back to the Incan Empire, where it was used in spiritual ceremonies to cleanse the body in space of malignant darkness. How about that? We're cleansing of malignant darkness. To this day, it is used ritualistically among many indigenous communities throughout Central and South America, particularly to cleanse bad energy, bad air, and the evil eye. Mal de air translated to bad air, yet it is a spiritual illness, believed to be a kind of cold nighttime air created by malignant spirits that enter the body, causing pain, discomfort, sickness, and many other kinds of imbalances. So we're going through this cleansing process. We're going through a cleansing process, and it involves money, because money is just an energetic representation of our work and what we store up, the work that we store up, right? So when we store up our work and then it gets stolen, the whole process is set up to take from us, to feed off of us, our energy, literally through our money, take our energy. This is going to be cleansed. Let me read the rest of it. Incan medicine people used this wood in their religious rituals as a tool to neutralize negativity, rejuvenate the body, mind, and spaces, bring peace, balance, and good fortune, and achieve a better spiritual communication with their gods. So, if you like to meditate or commune with God, Palo Santo might be a good herb. I don't know if there's an incense that you can burn or if how. I think there is aromatherapy, like essential oils you can get. I do have that. I have had that. So let me read on. Scientific studies now show how Palo Santo can help relieve stress and anxiety, stimulate circulation, reduce joint and muscle pain, and uplift mood and the immune system. It also has proven to cleanse the space, dispel bacteria, and act as an insect repellent. So perhaps, I don't know if there's any truth to the hantavirus or any of that, but, it sounds like the Palo Santo essential oil might be a beneficial thing for helping with bacteria, but there are many things that can help with bacteria, but I'm just saying. So it's also, it repels bacteria, bad bacteria and things like that. Lastly, Palo Santo's medicinal qualities are very plutonic in nature, as it powerfully cleanses malignant energy while being highly invocatory, if that's how you say it, and perfect for strong intention setting. Palo Santo has a long history of use as a magic wand that unlocks innate gifts that have lain dormant, inactive, or blocked, like wisdom, intuition, and sight to see into the past and past lives. Palo Santo is a protective wand that grants us the power of unlocking innate gifts that have lain dormant, inactive, or blocked. Palo Santo, like the fox, is here to assist you as a spirit guide who helps you navigate the spirit world. The Sichuran foxes, if I say that right, native to South America, nestle among the desert forest of Palo Santo for shelter, living in symbiosis with these precious trees. Foxes are symbolic of the afterlife, invisibility, and the sacred trickster. Palo Santo neutralizes the venom of dark tricksters and alchemizes its poison into gold, becoming the sacred trickster. Palo Santo is here to remind you to activate your dormant gifts. You are a guardian of the sacred that has walked many paths. Know that you can neutralize the greatest of poisons and even outwit the smartest of tricksters. And that's a nice message. So even on a grand scale, with everything going on, there are things happening on a personal scale where we ourselves are changing. We're ridding ourselves of these programs that have been installed in us to make us believe the world is a certain way. And we are moving beyond that into something more authentic for us and humans. So let's read a little bit more. I'm going to shuffle the deck and just read a few tarot cards on top of. So we're already getting a message that there's deep change happening financially and personally, and that we need to, during this time, be disciplined about the process. Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this. Cut the deck. All right, and I'm just going to take off the top here. All right. So we got the Five of Wands, which is conflict, temporary conflict. Usually disagreements, things like that. And then we've got the Ten of Pentacles, and that is generational wealth. And then we have the Knight of Cups, which is somebody who is acting from the heart. They want to do something good for someone else from the heart. Okay, and then the Two of Swords. I can get one more in here. And in the Two of Swords, in this particular card, it's accentuating how she cannot see. Two of Swords. It's a Swords card, which is about thinking. So I think it's where our thoughts kind of stall us, right? Our thoughts stall us, and we can't seem to move forward because we kind of, it's similar to the Eight of Swords, and that we've kind of created our own mental prison to some extent by the way we're thinking. And then one more, I'm going to take one more. And the Queen of Pentacles. That's the Queen. I'm sorry, the lighting, I gotta fix my lighting, but if I can move these over, you will see it better. There we go, hopefully, I'll put it up here. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so, Queen of Pentacles. We've got two cards here about money, and they're very nice cards. We've got the Ten of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. And we've got one card, it's Wands, which is about conflict, and another card about stalling. So, what is our message, or our message to us? It's saying that right now, there may be some conflicting information going on in the world around you, or you may be experiencing conflict in your own mind about what to believe. It's a confusing time, and that shows here. And if we move on to the Ten of Pentacles, we see that there is a change happening. And this is, I think, our desire, the Ten of Pentacles. What I'd like to do is pull aspects because this will help. So here we've got the Six of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor, Eight of Pentacles, and Page of Wands. So these are going to aspect so that it will help me understand. So we have conflict right now about what we've got. Do we have enough? Is there enough? Will we have enough to ride through this time? And so there's a question in our minds about that, because we don't know what's coming, we don't know what's happening. And then the next card, we've got the Ten of Pentacles with the Wheel. So I think at first we're going to wonder if we have enough, and then the event is going to happen. I think this is really showing the event. So this is like our finances and the flipping of the wheel. This is the wheel. You know, change is happening. And then what happens after that? We've got the Knight of Cups, where we follow our heart. And then the Emperor underneath that. So this change, when we get past this, it doesn't show a lack. It doesn't show like we're not having enough. What it shows is that when this event occurs, we're going to be following our hearts and in command of our own lives. So there's some kind of change where it's going to make us want to follow our own heart more, instead of just listening to, what are they saying on X, or what are people saying about this? Should I believe this? Should I believe that? I think there's this command that we somehow obtain where we can follow our own hearts, our own beliefs, our own system. And then after that, so that's, I think, happening fairly quickly after the event. And then after that, there's going to be a period of stall. Like I said, a mental prison, and it's aspected by the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles is working on things. We're working. So the woman is sitting here working at her desk, mastering her craft, working on her craft. So I think we're going to go into a period where we want to hone our skills. So maybe something will become apparent that we're good at. You know, you'll realize, oh yes, I'm good at this, and there's this change in the world, and people want this now, so I'm going to work on it. And so there's a brief period of kind of hold where we're working on that. And then finally, we become the Queen of Pentacles, which here we're working on it. Here we're actually able to use that skill to help benefit others and make money at it if we want to. It's an exchange of energy. So this is something we become good at, and it's a whole new beginning. Page of Wands. It's a new beginning. So on a personal level, that's kind of what I see playing out in the near future. On a grand scale, I also see there's conflict in the money system, and then there's a flip in our system, and then there's something new offered. He's offering these flowers, so there's something that's being gifted that's going to create this sovereignty for people. The Emperor is that sovereignty in command of his own life. And then, but there will be a stall, and they will have to keep working on it. And then down the road after that, there will be this new beginning with this new system that's working robustly for people. So that's on a grand scale. And then also on and I just read on the personal scale. So sorry, once again, I got this money message because it just popped up right there. Money! So I think on a grand scale, it's very much, about our money system. On a personal scale, it's about us realizing right here what our gifts are. After this change, it's like, oh, the world comes to a halt. It's not all about going out and doing your job and making money anymore. Something changes, and it's about, what are my gifts? What can I offer to the world? There's a shift in how people think. And, yeah. And there's this with this Palo Santo here card, it shows the shift, but it also, that guardian really stands out to me. There's a protection. So, the universe wants you to know, the cards want you to know that this is not going to be a severe, terrible event. It's going to be a supported event. It's going to be something where you've got support. It is asking that we are disciplined in what we're doing, and this card over here is mastery. So, in this period where we're being offered a new chance at something, if you are disciplined, you will come here. You will come to this place. So this is about discipline and working at your craft. And that's what this is showing here. So if you work on what it is you find you're good at, you will become, you will be able to offer that to other people as a service in some way. Okay, so that is the message for today. I hope you enjoyed this style, and it was something I wanted to try with you all since I didn't have any questions for this time. So I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you hopefully again on Monday when we talk about astrology. I'm trying to make my astrology a little more interesting, so I'm going to have some sketches in the astrology that will kind of hopefully make the next week, which is going to be a really great week, by the way. It's going to make next week more interesting to look at. I just want to also say, I think, isn't Sunday Mother's Day? Yeah. So I just also want to say Happy Mother's Day to all of those who have been, are, or will be someday mothers, and for those who are in a nurturing role for others in your life, you know. So I hope you enjoy. That's a U.S. holiday, by the way, but I hope you all enjoy your weekend.